Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today and welcome to my channel. Mm, Before I go on, I would like you to subscribe on the button down or below this video. Thank you for coming on today. Today I'm going to be reading. I told you all already about the whole R. Kelly scandal. I'm sure some of you have been following up, some of you have been able to watch it on Lifetime. And yeah, I mean, people have been talking about it. It's been going on for weeks now. And today I'm going to be reading one of the books from one of his victims, and the title is Sex Me Confessions of Daddy's Little Freak, Daddy's Girl. Yes, that's the title. So this lady is one of the ladies that had an affair with R. Kelly, and in this book of hers, she is very, very blunt. Like, she tells you that it's as it is. She didn't sugarcoat anything. She's blunt, blunt. So you're gonna hear a lot of dirty stuff from here, but that's it. It is what it is. So I have to read it just the way it is. So I'll just go straight into reading the book, and let's see how many pages I can cover today. But I'm hoping I can read up to 20 pages. So she says, okay, before I go ahead, you all know that most of the ladies who came out to talk about R. Kelly always said that he asked them to call or refer to him as daddy. So anytime you hear daddy in this novel, you just know that she's referring to R. Kelly. So let's go straight into the novel, and yep. To daddy, the man who taught me that everything you desire isn't always what you need, and every I love you shouldn't cause you pain. You know what you did to me. Now they will. Now they will too. Okay. Um. All right. Open letter. Daddy, I can't speak for the motives of others, but you know I love you. Through the good times, the bad, and the indifferent. You know I would never intentionally try to deceive or hurt you. My greatest fear is you hearing about this and feeling as if you never meant anything to me. My greatest fear is you thinking everything we shared was bullshit, because no matter where we stand, your feelings still matter to me. I want you to understand I left because I had to. But I always want you to know that as long as you are breathing, I will never stop believing in your ability to get better. I'll never give up on believing in you, but I had to love me enough to choose me. To think the problem with a lot of them is there were only ever in there for your image. But I must admit, initially he's the only you I knew. So I was too. However, somewhere along the lines I fell in love with the man, the real you, that man that needs it beyond what I am able to provide, that man that is broken beyond what I can fix. Me telling this story is ultimately a part of my healing. It makes me feel good to know that there may be someone out there who can relate to my feelings and experiences, understand our struggles, and make better decisions because of it. Yet, I apologize in advance ever ex- if you ever receive backlash as a result of this, because as a result of this, because God knows I have tried my hardest to protect the both of us in this. Love you always. That is God. Okay, moving on. Sometimes I wonder everything that happened was I wonder if everything that happened was my fault. I was undeniably obsessed with him. Since the age of 4, I remember watching him on BET, singing along to his songs, cutting his pictures out of Word Up and Write On magazines, and taping them on my pillow at night. Yes, you're already right. I was a little local about him, lol, but he was my crush. One I never rid myself of, one even till this day I can't rid my mind, soul, or body of. I was his. It is his. I still smell his scent. I still hear his voice, his footsteps. I still feel his body on top of mine. I wake up in cold sweats from dreams about him, the pleasure, the terror. I may never understand how I can still be in love with the very thing that brought me so much pain, be pissed whenever I hear others speak ill of his name, yet have moments of disgust at the same time. Picture admiring, crushing, and lusting over a man for over a decade, and then finally meeting him, sleeping with him, living with him, meeting all of his personalities: the lover, the jokester, the genius, the innocent child, the abused slash scared child, the insecure slash resentful man, the demon, the freak. Roll them up in one, and there is your man. This was the man I idolized. He was no cakewalk. There was so many pain behind the talent, the smile, the front. There was so much that nobody knew, but I knew about it. Okay, I knew firsthand, and I tell this story. I'm trembling from the very thought of me betraying him. This man who has done so much for me. This man who welcomed me into his home, into his life, into his mind, into his heart. But if people are going to tell this story, then someone has got to tell it right. Both his wrongs and theirs, and I'm not afraid to be that one. First things first, I'm no fucking victim, and I'm no angel. I refuse to define myself as this hopeless woman who was brainwashed, detained, and violated. I'm a realist, and I'm real with anyone. I'm real with myself. I own up to my part in this. I hunted him like he was my prey, singing along to his songs, watching him on television wasn't good enough. No, where live shows. I wanted him. I wanted him so bad I didn't care walking with him or who walking with him or who for that matter. I lost it for him. To keep it real, every thought I had of him prior to our meet was sexual. Wow. Truth be told, I looked at him as a piece of meat. One I wanted to suck completely off the bone, devour, lick my fingers, and repeat. I deemed myself his sex slave in my mind long before I ever met him. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. I'm sure we all did. Whether we, no, you did, please, you and the other people, don't add myself and the people watching this video. Anyway, I'm sure we all did. Whether we are willing to admit it or not, I heard the rumors. I'd even seen the tape. You all have heard about the sex tape with R. Kelly and a 14-year-old girl with him peeing on her. Those crazy things. So that's what she's actually talking about. I had seen the tape, but none of that mattered. I was determined to meet him, and I was determined to be with him. We really should be careful what we ask for sometimes. Okay, now that's just like okay, now she says warning. So we've not even gotten into the book proper. So I'm unapologetically blunt. I don't cut corners. I don't censor shit. The language used in this book is extremely descriptive and explicit. So if you're looking for a holy version, this ain't it. Okay, we are ready. Genius. That's the first chapter of the book. Okay. I remember the first time I saw him in person. He was playing ball on the south side. He was so tall, handsome, surrounded by a crowd of local fans screaming his name. The girls were touching all over him. They didn't even care that he was pouring sweat. I truly never understood the logic of this behavior. I was a diehard but I could never see myself acting a fool and crying when meeting him. Pushing through a crowd to be seen by him wasn't my style at all. So I left my friends right there as they joined the groupie antics and walked home. Okay. One day I was sitting on my older cousin Keisha's house getting my hair done, and I told her I wanted to meet him. Keisha had bagged plenty of ball players and rappers, and she never appeared to be a groupie or thirsty. They chased her and had no clue they were all her prey from day one. That's the kind of energy I wanted. I needed her to help me to do the same with Daddy. She said herself he wasn't hard to find. He was always hanging out at the local McDonald's, playing ball somewhere or posted. And this I knew, but he was also always surrounded by a million people. I remember her asking me why I would want to meet him so bad. I want to fuck him, duh. We both laughed. We both died laughing. After a blunt or two and a few shots, we decided we were gonna try to get front row tickets to his next concert and VIP passes to his after party. It sounded like a good plan, but those tickets sold out every year quicker than you can blink. So I was anxious to see if she could do better than me with grabbing them before they all sold out. And you'll be damned if 3 weeks later Keisha wasn't calling me saying she had the ticket. Okay, it's on. It was about damn time. Year after fucking year, front row tickets were always sold out. But I finally grabbed mine, thanks to my cousin. Hold the other bitches. I don't understand what they're trying to write here. There's supposed to be a comma somewhere. Okay, hold the other bitches wasn't gonna be girls' night out type of vibe this time. I didn't give a fuck how my friends felt at this point. I was going out. I was going with my cousin. I had no time for their ridicule or groupie antics. Cause when that weekend hit, I had been entering that arena with purpose. I would be entering the arena with purpose and a mission. If things went my way, he would hop directly off the stage and into this pussy. My goodness. I just wanted to feel him. And with an arena filled with thousands of dehydrated ass bitches, I needed to focus. Okay, I had 2 weeks then. That was 2 weeks to find something extra fly that no other bitch would be rocking. 2 weeks to fast and kill this body in the gym. 2 weeks to strategically plan my approach. Because when I shoot the shot at daddy, baby, I was not gonna miss. And this was undisputed. This and with this undisputed tunnel vision began what feels like a never-ending roller coaster ride. Okay, it's getting serious now. In the blink of an eye, 2 weeks had passed by, but it seemed like the eve of the fucking concert took forever. I was ready. I was ready though. Me and Keisha had been talking and going over position scenarios all week. I knew just what to say and just how to approach shit. I had the right feet, the right heels. My hair was slay, and my mind was all on fuck with unfuckwittable. Okay. The next day seemed to drag forever. I was so anxious I couldn't stand it. Local radio stations had been playing his music all day, everything old and new, and all I could think about was my fine ass in his radar on the front row. Wow. It always took us forever to get ready, so we started early. You all know how it is. The long ass bubble bath dancing in the mirror. I wasn't big on makeup, but Keisha just had to beat this face to the gods. And then we spent forever checking ourselves out from every angle in the mirror and taking pictures. Maybe that was just our little thing. Hell, I don't know. But me, myself, and I had a long ass pep talk in the mirror before going to fuck a nigga's life up and turn all them heads. It was a must for a girl like me. And 4 hours later, I stood 5 foot 5'2", 34, 24, 30, 38. Breast sitting pretty, ass sitting right, dress painted on and pussy juicy enough to feed a homeless tribe in the Congo. Bitch, I was fine. Okay, that's how fine got you in trouble. Fiesta. We was fly as fuck and we knew it. Nothing else on the front row came close. The show was amazing and shades or no shades, he was checking for me. He was single all in me and Keisha's direction. I was just hoping I was more of his type than Keisha. Girl, I sang every song word for word. Those other hoes did the most screaming and crying, trying to drag him off stage. Seemed like. I just kept it cute, singing along, dancing all sensual and feeling myself, a vibe. I didn't know how to be so extra as those other hoes, so I did me, and from what I could see, he liked it. So we left a little earlier. Now you see me. Now you didn't vibe. We had VIP tickets to the after party, so I knew he would see me again shortly. But we made our presence felt, and that was definitely a must. Flash forward. He stared at me from across the VIP. There I stood moist and motionless. I could feel the warmth between my thighs. Keisha was dancing with some dude, and I had been rejected. I had been rejecting niggas all night while I watched as he traced my body with his eyes. Shortly after a guy tapped me on the shoulder, invited me over. I respectfully declined. I know you are thinking, bitch, you crazy. Why I decline when you know you why why decline when you know you want him? But trust me, I had it under control. A man like that isn't used to rejection, and he's not gonna take no for an answer. The next time he had made eye contact, he signaled for me to come up. I shook my head and signaled for him to come to me. He took a shot of brown, poured himself a full drink, and from the looks of it, oh my God, this was it. He was walking over. I'm thinking, fuck, bitch, get it together. You following me now? He leaned in and said, should I be? I snapped back and sarcastically. I snapped back sarcastically. A few seconds of silence passed and we both laughed. I like that. You got a sleek little mouth. It's cute. Then he finished off his drink, leaned in closer, and with his body pressed against mine, he whispered, now I'ma ask you again. You following daddy? The sound of his voice and the heat from our bodies touching along sent a couple of thoughts to my mind, tingling down my spine, and this pussy into overdrive. This girl. Okay. All I could do was keep my cool, stare his ass dead back in the eyes and ask, so you are my daddy now? So you're my daddy now? I could never forget the look in his eyes when he ran his finger slowly over my lips and told me he would be. I swear I played it cool. Even though I was doing cartwheels inside, I managed to play it cool. He asked if Keisha was my sister. I told him she was my cousin. He asked if I could get away from her because he needed to see me after. I smirked and told him I might be able to work something out. He slipped me the number and told me to text him with a sexy pic and my name. Took me less than 30 seconds and I said done. As I walked away, and I said done as I walked away. He texted me after and said, good girl. I was so fucking excited. I quickly grabbed Keisha and headed for the door. Mission accomplished, bitch. Let's roll. Okay. So I followed Keisha's lead and told him I couldn't do tonight. He called almost as soon as I sent the text. I let it ring a few times and answered. I remember him asking where I went and why I couldn't meet him. I simply responded it was getting late and I had an early rise. He said I'm not worth one. He said I'm not worth one night. I'm not worth one night. And said if I'm worth it, there will be another night. He seemed intrigued. Okay, baby girl, but do me a favor. Always call me daddy. Back to the daddy stuff. Okay. Your body is calling. That's the next chapter. So he smelled so good. He looked so good. His voice brought me to my knees. I loved the way he looked at me. Loved the way he said my name. And when he touched me, I trembled a little. A week had passed before we linked up again. What's wrong with me? I was I was unavailable for the first two original dates he suggested, but it was finally our time. Believe it or not, we met up at the park. We walked around and ended up chilling on the park bench as he interviewed me. How old are you, baby girl? I told him I was 20. Then a million other questions followed. He wanted to know if I had any musical talent, which I did. I told him I'd been singing ever since I was 3 and sang in the choir at church. Plus, I was a dancer. I had been in ballet since the age of 5, but choreographed to hip-hop and R&B songs as a hobby. His eyes grew wide with excitement. He instantly wanted to hear something So I sang age ain't nothing but a number. My vocals were super strong, so that track, my vocals were super strong for that track, but I don't know. For some reason, it was the first thing that popped into my mind. Before I could finish, he grabbed me and kissed me. Ooh, I was seriously in shock, but I didn't fight it. I went with it. The way he kissed me made me want more. It made my body weak, and the way he looked at me after, I knew he could tell he had me right where he wanted me, but I quickly gathered myself and asked what he thought. He seemed excited. He was like, what so what we doing? Um, I've been wanting to I've been wanting a protege. I could really take your career to the next level, but I was sure to let him know I'm just a low key chick. I didn't think fame was for me, still don't. I told him I could help behind the scenes with writing and choreography, but I just wanted to be a good woman to an extraordinary man. Daddy definitely seemed to like that. He asked me about family, and I told him it was really just me and my grandma. I had a few aunts and cousins, but that was it. No kids, no man, and undecided on my career path. That day led to one of many over the next few months. Seems like you're ready, okay? He was so fine. I loved having to tippy toe to hug him. Okay. I loved how good it felt being in his big, strong arms. Wow. I loved everything about him, so much that I felt guilty about not being 100% honest with him. But every time I built up the courage to tell him, someone would walk in or he would say something that would just throw me off. I was scared if he found out he wouldn't want to talk to me anymore, and I really liked him. I didn't want what we were building to stop, but my conscience said, "Oh, why is it in my conscience?" Okay, so I think it should be my conscience. So my conscience said being honest was the right thing to do. So one day when it was just him and I in the studio, which was rare, I said, "Daddy, I need to talk to you." I'm not sure if it was my facial expression or tone that bothered him, but he looked very concerned and told me to come sit on his lap. I began to stutter. I began to stutter a little when I told him it was important. So he pulled me in close on his lap and told me to get it off my chest. You know you can talk to daddy, right? I nodded and spit it out quickly. I'm only 16. Yes, y'all, I was grown as hell, I know, but only 16. He grabbed my chin gently, lifted my head. He told me to look at him and talk to him like a big girl. I just started crying. I just started to cry and told him I was 16. And if he didn't want to talk to me anymore, I understood. He leaned back on the couch for a second and put both his arms behind his head. Then he laughed. He asked if this was what I had been so scared to tell him, and I said yes. That's when he leaned up and kissed me. He looked me square in the eyes and told me there was nothing I could tell him about me that he didn't already know, and we were good. He told me I had nothing to worry about, but he did go on to say that daddy could get into a lot of trouble just for dealing with me, and that that he has that he's putting a lot on the line, but he's willing to do it because he really liked me. Me being young and clueless at the time, that meant everything to me. I really thought I was special. Wow, poor you. If anybody asks, tell them you're 19 and act 21. Act 21? How the hell was I supposed to do that? I didn't want to sound so dumb and ask, but I think the dumbfounded look on my face forced him to explain. I've never been good at hiding my facial expressions, especially back then. Daddy explained that acting 21 meant being confident, unbothered, and listening more than I spoke. Okay, acting Acting 21 means knowing what happens between you and daddy stays between you and daddy. When you're grown, you keep your business to yourself. Okay, you don't need to tell anybody about what we do or how we do it. You understand? Acting 21 means your focus is on your man and not what's in the streets, on that cell phone or with your little friends. You got a boyfriend now, so I'm your business and your focus. You understand? And acting 21 means it's time for you to start doing something grown, to start doing some grown things. You want to please your man. You want to please your man, right? You want to keep daddy happy. My answer was yes to everything he asked. I did want to keep him happy and I wanted to appear mature to him more than anything, especially now that he knew my age. I didn't want him to think I couldn't handle the situation. So, how do I please you? How do I do grown things? He smiled and laughed like he had been dying for me to ask that question. He told me to stand up. Now take off your clothes. My clothes? Your clothes. All of them. Come on. I remember having this cute strapless jean dress and some wedges. I began to zip my dress down and he stopped me and told me to unzip it slower. So I did. When my titties popped out, so did his dick. My God. He started breathing hard. He started breathing hard and touching himself. He told me to keep my shoes on and to leave my black panties on. I did as I was told. Next, he told me to walk around sexy like I was modeling for him. I really wanted to make a good impression on daddy, so I did as I was told and pranced around in my panties and wedges while he jerked off. Thanks for me, baby. Yeah, just like that. I rolled and slow whined. I rubbed and touched on my body and then walked up to him and put my legs up next to him. So I was now standing with my pussy print on his chin. And with the sexiest voice I could phantom at 16, I sassed him and asked when he was gonna stop looking and touch. Lord, why did I ever say that? Why did I ever say that? Hey! He quickly raised his eyebrows and took off his shades. He rubbed his nose across the lace rested on my crotch, slid them to the side and... Something is not wrong with the statement. Okay. Took them to the side and went to work with his tongue. I had never had head before. I didn't know what to expect. But when he started, my body went into shock. As he French kissed her, he told me to lay down. Huh? Kissed her? Okay. I think it should be as he French kissed me, he told me to lay down. I did as I was told. I had heard of those girls dudes called runners. I never wanted to be one, but the minute he stuck his face in good, I couldn't control myself. He was like an animal with it, but in a good way. It felt so good. I couldn't take it. I immediately tried pulling away and pushing his head back, but he pinned both my hands down and made me take it. He kept whispering, Act 21, take it. My body was shaking uncontrollably. I nodded over and over again. I was so embarrassed when I squirted all over his face. Hell, I never even knew I could, but it seemed to turn him on more. He just licked it off and kept going. My God. Don't run, baby. Take that shit. I started to fuck his face back and he loved it. I remember him saying, there you go. Oh my God, this book is gonna drive me crazy. Don't be shy. There you go, baby. Don't hold back. Get it into it. Give me that little pussy. Throw it. Put it in daddy's face. Well, yeah. Jesus Christ. I was so caught up I didn't even realize it was the start of him molding me. It was the start of him molding me. At the time, I found comfort in the coaching. Sorry. It made me feel free and confident. The more I fucked his face and moaned, the more he loosened his grip on my hands. Eventually, he let me go and told me to do what I wanted to do. I grabbed his head and smothered his face in my pussy. It felt so good I didn't want him to stop, and he didn't seem to mind. I caught a big nut and released his head. My legs were shaking like crazy. I remember him attempting to stick his finger in me and they wouldn't fit. He quickly looked at me and said, "Baby girl, you're a virgin?" I put my head down in shame and told him yes. He reminded me about confidence. He told me there was nothing to be ashamed of, and he loved the idea of being my first and my only. He fixed us a drink, and I think I drank a little too much, but I definitely wasn't nervous anymore. He rubbed on my clit and kissed them again. Then he stood over me with his dick in his hand and said, "You seem ready to you seem ready to me, baby." Seems that way, huh? Okay, so that's her asking. Okay. Wow, we're already on page 20. So I'm gonna do 5 more pages and then that'll be the end for today. Make you my baby. That's the title of this chapter. So he was so gentle with me. I remember feeling the pressure from his attempt to penetrate and wanting to back out. He kept whispering, "Shh, try to relax, baby. You gotta trust me, baby." Tears started to roll down my eyes. The pressure felt like it was gonna kill me, and then he finally penetrated. I won't lie, my entire vagina was numb at this point, but it made me feel so good to know he was so pleased. He moaned like crazy. He kissed all over me. He even beat me. He was like whatever he it was like whatever he felt was out of this world. He kept asking if I was okay, but apologizing because he said it was too good and he couldn't stop. Oh fuck. Jesus. Oh shit. Oh shit. Father help me. Oh baby, it's so good. Fuck, I know that baby, but I can't stop. I'm sorry. Fuck, I can't stop. I swear, these people are gonna spoil us. Okay. I just laid there and took it. Then he pulled some moves and ended up on top of me. I don't know what the fuck got into me, but I rode him like a pro, and it was my last. It was my last. His moan seemed more like holes at this point. He was beating his lips. He was biting his lips. His eyes were rolling in the back of his head, and he kept saying, "Baby, I love you. And I love this sweet little pussy. Oh, this fresh little pussy." He wanted me to tell him it was daddy's, and I did. After he made me stay on top of him, and he made out for a while. And we made out for a while, I'm sorry. He just kept kissing me and feeling on me. He seemed to especially like smacking me on the booty, and I liked it too. My grandma always said, "Jesus, child, you got a rump on you." I knew some of those men gonna be looking. Cover up, girl. Now I knew what she meant. Daddy couldn't get enough of feeling on my booty, smacking it, staring at it, and all. He always made comments about it. He said it was one of my best assets. Wow. Woo. After our little make-out session, he took my hand and put it on his penis. It was rock hard. He told me daddy was gonna show me how to keep my man happy. He told me a good woman never denies her man pussy or head. He told me a good woman is a freak and she's not afraid to try shit. A good woman doesn't complain and she should always tell her daddy yes. I told him I wanted to be a good woman for him. I remember him smiling and saying, "Good girl." Wow. That's the beginning of the whole brainwashing thing, telling her that a good woman has to be, always available for her man, and a good woman always has to give him head and pussy and never deny him pussy and all of that. That's just some brainwashing bullshit there. So, okay. So I'm gonna read 3 more pages. We're already on page 22, so when I get to page 25, we'll stop. Okay. He told me to get on the floor on all fours, so I did. He told me to add. Oh, not clear. I didn't really know how he meant at the time, but he came to he came and positioned me the way he wanted. Then he spread my butt cheeks and stuck his face in it. Oh my goodness. I recall it stung a little when he licked where he spit he split me when initially penetrated, or busting my cherry. Oh, that's Anna. Wow. Busting my cherry as we called it then. I was still bleeding quite a bit, but he didn't care. While he licking it up, I remember him saying I was still bleeding but still licking and sucking it all up. What? My God. Which was, oh no, it's busting my cherry. No, it's not. I know it's not. I don't think so. Anyway, I'll check. I'll clarify you all. Still licking and sucking it up, which was crazy because he told me himself he couldn't stand the sight of blood, but that's another story. He sat me up to kiss me and put something in my mouth. When he did, I reached to take it out and he stopped me and handed me a drink. He told me to swallow the pill, and silly me, I just did as I was told. I would I would let I would later found out it was X he gave me. My God. I recall my pussy tingling and me just feeling real crazy. Him telling me he knew I was still sore, but the only way I was gonna feel better was keep doing it and putting himself back in. He took me from behind. He stroked me slow for all of 30 seconds before losing it on me. I gushed and screamed all over his dick as I shook. He had no mercy on me. He was feeding me stroke after stroke and sticking it all the way in. I literally felt his dick in my stomach. I screamed and moaned, but I never stopped him. I wanted to be a good woman for him. You see, that brainwashing thing. I just took it and then I started throwing it back. I lost it myself for a few. I don't know how I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the MDMA, but he loved it. There you go. Oh, look at daddy's baby. Look at that fat ass. Throw that ass back at daddy. Fuck this my pussy now. Ass smacks. Tell daddy it's mine. Ah, my God, my eyes. I screamed it. I yelled it. I was floating. I had never felt so good before. I remember telling myself I loved sex. He flipped me over without pulling out and held my legs by my head. Hi. Then he drilled my pussy. He was shaking, so I knew he would be coming soon, but he just kept going. I didn't know if he came or not. I just knew he never stopped. He literally fucked me until 9 a.m. the next morning when one of the engineers showed up. We'll call him Engineer Tim. Engineer Tim. And when he showed up, he found me half asleep, laid out, and raw fingering and eating my pussy. Tim looked started, apologized. Okay. Repeatedly saying he thought the studio was apologized. Repeatedly saying he thought the studio was empty because Daddy usually doesn't start his day until the afternoons. Daddy kissed my pussy a few more times, kissed me, and told him it was okay. He covered me up and introduced me as his girlfriend. I greeted him, wrapped and threw fully around me and exited the studio. I don't know. I went straight to the bathroom. It burned like hell when I peed, and when I attempted to wipe, I realized how swollen and red my area was. I couldn't believe it. I had just lost my virginity to the man of my dreams. Okay, so this is the last page. McDonald's. Every day after school, I met Daddy in the McDonald's parking lot for food, convo, and fuck sessions. It was crazy, but the more time I spent with him, the more I realized he was different than I'd imagined, but in a good way. He was always cracking jokes and laughing, complimenting me and making me smile. He exposed me to new things. exposed me to new things, taught me things, and showed me all the love and affection any girl could ever ask for. I was falling hard and fast. He was like my best friend. We'll talk about anything, and to my surprise, he had a lot. To my surprise, we had a lot in common. Most of the time, I'll meet him, we would grab some food, and he would have a suite already waiting for us somewhere. We literally had sex every day. He knew my body better than I knew it myself, and he knew how to please me as I did him. Everything I knew sexually is because of daddy, and believe me, I come up short in no area. Wow. I went above and beyond during every sexual intercourse, and he would buy me a gift every time. Jewelry, phones, designer bags, new clothes. Rob brought me lots of gifts. He'll do shit like hand me a jewelry box after a writing session and say shit, and he'll give me a jewelry box after a writing session and say shit like, you keep that up and daddy gonna have to put a ring on that finger. Liar. Oh, okay, this is the last paragraph and we're done. After sex sessions, we always had long, intimate talks. We talked about our dreams, fears, past, family, pain. We sang together. We never prayed. We even prayed together, excuse me. We both came from dysfunctional backgrounds, and we both felt misunderstood by some people. Yep. Okay, you guys. So that's page 1 to page 25 of the novel Sex Me Daddy's Little Freak. So that's it. The story of one of the girls that was with R. Kelly. So just meeting him and being with him. So when I come on next time, or the next video that I'm gonna put up is gonna be from page 25 to page 50. Let's see how we keep up with that. But I bet you this book is really ooh, I don't know how you'll see it, but this girl, I don't know if, oh my God, to be able to read this book, you need to really make up your mind. All of this detailed explanation and everything is just driving me crazy. Okay, so it is what it is, and thank you all for watching this video today. And there's gonna be another video, but before I do another video, I'll let you all know when I'll be updating, or I'll be uploading videos and what time. So there's gonna be maybe 2 or 3 days in a week, and if I have gossip about anything or anyone, I'm definitely going to put it up on the blog. And please do not forget to subscribe, and thumbs up this video. Share the link with your friends on your Facebook profile, on Instagram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, wherever you can share it. And just let me have your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking about, or what are your thoughts on this novel and what you think about the whole R. Kelly saga. You know, some people have actually taken sides. Some people are supporting R. Kelly, some people are supporting the girls. So everybody just have their own opinions. You can go on YouTube, look up on what other bloggers are saying or vloggers are saying about the story. I'll definitely come up with more. And also, I'm trying to get it. I know a lot of people have not been able to watch the video on the whole documentary on Lifetime. So I'll find a way to put it up on my channel, even if it means that I need to record it with my phone and then upload it here. That's what I'm gonna do. I just need you all to watch it so we can all be on the same page. So this is it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you coming up and watching this video. Thumbs up this video and subscribe to this channel. Keep on sharing. Share. Thank you guys. Good night.